This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the South Today, a Queenstown tourism giant is building a village for its staff at Walter Peak in response to rising Queenstown rents. A new dawn in the space age is set to break at Oamaru Airport as a memorandum of understanding is signed. And the Winton A&P show celebrates its 106th year in Southland at the weekend. Kia ora, good evening. I'm Simon Anderson. A Queenstown tourism giant is building a village for its staff at Walter Peak in response to the rising Queenstown rents. Real Journeys has spent $1.5 million on 3 new houses for staff at Walter Peak High Country Farm.
Queenstown's hot housing market has led to one tourism operator taking matters into its own hands to make sure its staff can find a home. Tourism company Real Journeys will now provide housing for some of its employees, countering high rents in the resort.
It's just real convenient to be living at work. You're a 5-minute walk away, and yeah, you save a lot of money here, which a lot of people can't do in Queenstown. And you're supported by the whole company being here through other means, and they help you out as much as they can.
Aled Jones is one of the staff who's living at Walter Peak and says it's convenient to live so close to work. The company says it decided to build accommodation for its workers as many of the staff faced rent challenges, forcing some to sign shorter employment contracts so they wouldn't have to pay as much rent in Queenstown. Jones says although the accommodation is nearly an hour from Queenstown, they can pop across on their days off.
Pretty much every 2 days off that I get, so 5 days on, 2 days off, and you're only 45 minutes away, so just as easy as traffic in Queenstown.
The houses near the lakefront are the first stage of a future village of 14 dwellings between 1 and 6 bedrooms, which should eventually house about 50 workers. Working tenants pay $95 a week for a single room and $140 for a couple, including food and all utilities, which compares quite favourably with the $900 a week average rent for a 3-bedroom house in Queenstown. Jones says there's generally a relaxed and sociable atmosphere at their working home.
It's just really chilled out because everyone's on different shifts, so there's always something going on because people tend to have the same days as each other, and we all pretty much get on, so it's nice to have a social aspect at work, outside of work as well.
The dwellings were built in Invercargill and trucked to the site, then fitted out and were connected to the utilities about a week ago. Real Journeys employs more than 1,200 people in the lower South Island and already provides accommodation for nearly 80 staff in Milford Sound and at Rakiura, Stewart Island. In Queenstown, the South Today.
Engineers are inspecting the Allied Press building in central Dunedin today after a large piece of masonry fell onto the footpath overnight. Nobody was injured during the incident. Large chunks of brick and concrete litter the footpath in Cycle Lane at the front entrance of the Otago Daily Times offices at the corner of Stewart and Cumberland Streets. Allied Press Chief Executive Grant McKenzie says an engineer was called to inspect the site and the Dunedin City Council would likely inspect it too. The building is listed as a Category 2 heritage building. It was designed by architect Edmund Anscombe and constructed in 1928. The main entrance to the Allied Press building is closed and visitors have been asked to enter via the door on Stewart Street. A new dawn in the space age is set to break at Oamaru Airport. A memorandum of understanding between the Waitaki District Council and aerospace company Dawn Aerospace could mean space flight from North Otago Town later this year.
One small step for man, one giant leap for Oamaru. Waitaki Mayor Gary Kershaw signs a memorandum with Dawn Aerospace giving the green light for launching the space company's new prototype rocket planes from Oamaru Airport. It could bring dozens of high-paying jobs and a multi-million-dollar industry to the district.
All going well, Dawn Aerospace is poised to become a valued company within the Waitaki district and yet another company that we can look to proudly, and so that's part of Waitaki.
Modern satellites are about the size of a microwave oven, and Dawn Aerospace General Manager James Powell says his company's reusable 5-metre-long remote-controlled rocket plane will be much cheaper than conventional rockets for putting satellites into space. And he's hoping to begin testing the plane this year.
An initial flight won't be to space, but the plan is to start flying that, nice and low and slow and safe and easy, and then progressively expand that flight envelope until we are doing the suborbital flights.
The rocket plane is privately funded by a Christchurch and Netherlands-based company, with support from the European Space Agency, and is similar in loudness to other aircraft.
It's really designed to be just like a conventional aircraft, so it's conventional jet is pretty loud, but manageable, and our system will be the same. That again, yep, it's definitely loud, but it's the same as a jet.
All going well, the space plane will be able to launch twice a day if required, and be reused hundreds of times in an environmentally friendly way.
A really fundamental and important thing about Dawn is that we're building a very, very scalable system. This is not something that we want to build and launch in the middle of a desert only, because that wouldn't be a scalable system. There's not deserts all over the place to fly out of. So this fundamentally has to be something that works with everyone and everyone can tolerate.
Dawn Aerospace hope to begin building an operations base at Oamaru next year and establish a significant operation within 3 to 5 years. In Oamaru, the South Today.
A car crashed into a lamppost in Moray Place this morning, temporarily reducing traffic to one lane. Police say emergency services were called to the intersection of Great King Street and Moray Place shortly after 10 a.m. this morning. One person is believed to have sustained injuries, which were not serious according to police. A tow truck was used to remove the car. Sharing competitions and pet parades were just some of the many activities on offer at Winton's A&P show on Saturday. The annual event is now in its 106th year and draws people from across the South Island.
The sun shone on the Winton A&P show at the weekend, with events such as horse riding as well as stunts by cyclist Andrew Nilbert to entertain those attending. Southern Steel netball player Abby Irwood put down her bib and took part in the shearing competition.
First time shearing today, but yeah, I grew up on a sheep and beef farm out in Waitahuna, so I've been shearing for probably since Dad taught me really, and then I've just sort of carried on and just tried to pick up wee tips off people and shearers and other bits and pieces.
Despite being a novice, Irwood's competitive spirit transferred over to her shearing.
It's actually quite technical, and there's like little bits and pieces that you have to learn and understand how to do. I remember when I first started, Dad would just let me do the long blow, and then I'd do the last side, and then eventually you sort of put it all together into one big piece, and then you learn how to shear all together. But it's all about your footwork and how to hold hand piece and all this other little stuff that really makes a difference.
Now in its 106th year, the annual show offers people a chance to enter various events, such as a pet competition, which included this 8-week-old fallow deer fawn named Lethan.
Oh, my friend, they found it, and they needed someone to look after it, so I offered, because they can't have them where they live. We have a massive backyard with a native bush area, and he loves it, don't you?
Other activities included wood chopping competitions and displays of farm machinery. In Winton, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today, we inspect some truly wonderful vehicles at the Cromwell Car Show, and then take tea with Steampunk Fraternity. See you after the break.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489-2274.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Lana Castle is proud to showcase their new retail space. Simply purchase an annual garden pass for year-round access to the garden, cafe and gift shop, or apply for a host card giving you full access to the castle, ballroom, cafe, gift shop and garden when accompanied by a full paying guest. Check out the website for full terms and conditions.
You've seen us in the street, now find us online. Check out shopon.org.nz. We have all sorts of treasures, from retro and vintage clothing to antiques, homewares and accessories. New items added every week. We're open 24/7.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
If you're suffering from sciatica, lower back pain, hips and pelvis and knees, this technique will work wonders for you. The energy flow is transmitting through the muscles. Come and see Sunny Chin.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر.
Namainor, welcome back. An empty section at 38 Oregon Drive, Kelvin Heights, is to be auctioned next month. The section was part of a development created 50 years ago and has never been built on. The 607 metres sloping section has been owned by an Invercargill couple for the past 7 years. New Zealand's Sotheby's International Realty is one of the agencies to list the section and expects it will sell above its rated evaluation of $680,000. He may be one of the young bucks within his car club, but Cromwell's Leigh Jackson adores the old school charm of hot rods. It's a love which is proving contagious, as his 1967 Ford Galaxie 500 XL Fastback Coupe was voted People's Choice at the annual Cromwell Classic Car and Hot Rod Festival on Saturday.
Cromwell classic car lover Leigh Jackson has owned this mobile piece of art for 9 months and was proud to be one of 680 entrants to the Cromwell Classic Car and Hot Rod Festival. He says it's lucky there are so many passionate car experts so close to his home.
Picked it up and basically engaged some of the local craftsmen here that are sort of experts in the car. So I've been lucky enough to be able to find some of the best leading guys in the business that are all actually locals, which were fantastic.
Sporting a sleek maroon paint job, the freshly done up car attracted plenty of interest from intrigued onlookers. Jackson says with a number of craftsmen on board, the last 9 months have been a labour of love.
So all the mechanical aspects of the car and tidy up job as far as the mechanics go have been done by Gary Garage with Gary Little. As far as the body and the shaping and getting all the lines right and repainted and stuff like that, that was done by a local guy here, Leigh Martin.
He says newer cars just don't have the same personality, and he spent a considerable amount of money doing this one up. Despite owning the best car in show, he was full of praise for all the other vehicles on display.
I guess there's some amazing cars here, there really is, and I mean in terms of the interior and bits and pieces out there, there's some amazing jobs.
A crowd of around 2,000 sizzled in the sunshine throughout the day as temperatures reached around 28 degrees. Event spokesman Greg Mullane says the festival has gone from strength to strength.
when you come along, you'll see you might see an Austin A40 Farina, something that you had as a young person that you used to drive, and there'll be some sort of connection with a car here for everybody today, whether it's something you own, something you aspire to own.
He says the long-running event is widely supported by many southern businesses and is a firm fixture on the car show calendar. The festival coincided with Speedworks Motorsport NZ Championship at Highlands Motorsport Park, which concluded yesterday. In Cromwell, the South Today.
Skipping ropes and croquet were just some of the entertainment at a Victorian-style high tea in Dunedin yesterday. Around 20 members of the Dunedin Steampunk Society made the most of a sunny Sunday in the Dunedin Botanic Garden to enjoy entertainment without electrical gadgets.
The Dunedin Steampunk Society celebrating Sunday's lovely weather with family entertainment. No batteries required.
Not a lot of big groups that do things with families and involve the kids in that sort of thing, and so having the kids out and having a bit of fun and not sitting in front of a screen is probably a huge thing for me.
A high tea outing is held by the group about 3 or 4 times a year. The Society's president, James Bryan, says steampunk aficionados tend to differ in their focus from country to country.
But we go with the Victorian science fiction as a basic theme, and we dress in Victorian style, the women with their big dresses, the guys in top hats and suit-ish looking or sport over the top. The brighter and louder, the better.
He says reusing old items is important to the group, with old copper water pipe and brass vases creating the hoops of this croquet set, and the mallet handle being made out of a walking stick.
You recycle. A lot of the steampunk themed stuff is all about recycling. The girls' dresses are generally made from duvet covers, bedspreads, curtains.
The Dunedin Steampunk Society has about 30 members, and they will be making their next public appearance at Thieves Alley Markets Day in Dunedin's Octagon in the middle of February. In Dunedin, the South Today.
After the break on the South Today, a government agency is advising people to check which swimming spots are safe this summer, and we check out the weather for the start of the working week. See you soon.
Step into Shop on Carroll and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
Lana Castle is proud to showcase their new retail space. Simply purchase an annual garden pass for year-round access to the garden, cafe and gift shop, or apply for a host card giving you full access to the castle, ballroom, cafe, gift shop and garden when accompanied by a full paying guest. Check out the website for full terms and conditions.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489-2274.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
Risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, You owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole Map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Thanks for staying with us. People are being reminded to check water quality at beaches and rivers before they swim this summer. A spokeswoman from Land, Air and Water says New Zealand's swimming spots are largely safe to swim in, but wet weather can cause runoff, pathogens from animals and sewer overflows. Water can become contaminated with bacteria such as E. coli, making people sick. People are advised to check the Lawa website, as well as to avoid swimming 2 to 3 days after heavy rain and to look out for toxic algae. And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South today. Queenstown tourism giant is building a village for its staff at Walter Peak in response to rising Queenstown rents. A new dawn in the space age is set to break at Oamaru Airport as a memorandum of understanding has been signed between the Waitaki District Council and Dawn Aerospace. And the Winton A&P show celebrated its 106th year in Southland at the weekend, with cheering competitions and more drawing crowds. And now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT, we welcome Hayden Meikle. Kia ora, Hayden.
Good evening, Simon. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. How are you doing?
Excellent. Good. Let's see what we've got tonight. We've got a developing story which sort of concerns airport screening and this latest virus emanating from China, the coronavirus. Several major airports around the world have instigated new screening things, and we have an academic here in Otago saying we should probably be more vigilant at our borders and at our airports. Of course, the Chinese tourism market is massive for this part of the world. You think of places like Queenstown Airport, a lot of Chinese tourists coming in. So I'm keen to find out more about the story, as I'm sure a lot of people are. I think airport screening's been a bit of a topic for a while. I think of the measles scare last year. People wondering, what are we doing at our airports to screen this sort of stuff? So that could be interesting. Another really telling story is figures have come out which show that Dunedin is officially a more unaffordable place to live than Wellington.
Wow.
And I think that'll stagger a lot of people. They think of Wellington, capital city, much bigger city, of course, than Dunedin. But our housing crisis in Dunedin being a major contributor, of course, as is our overall, average income being probably quite a bit less than Wellington. So another big story. We've got a big fish. It boils down to who doesn't love seeing a photo of a big fish in summertime. This is a huge fish, kingfish, I think, that a bloke caught. Cracking photo. I think that'll be on page 1 tomorrow, so look out for that. Retirement village, new retirement village for Dunedin, so to be built on the site of the old Roslyn New World up there. I think a 24 apartment retirement village, so we're finding out a little bit more about that. Equestrian centre at Waititi been expanded, which is great news for people who love horses, new stables and dressage and show jumping areas and all that sort of stuff. So certainly plenty of projects happening down in this part of the world. In sport, what's happening in sport, I wouldn't have a clue. But Steve Hepburn's back today, the sports editor, so he'll probably be writing about the Highlanders.
He'll tell you.
And complaining that rugby season's starting far too early. So there you go. That's an insight into that. So all that and much more.
Great, Hayden. Thank you. Now time for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Starting with the southern view, looking across the sunny North Dunedin from a flat near Knox College. Looking at the situation, a ridge of high pressure hangs over the South Island tomorrow as low pressure systems start to develop in the Tasman Sea, expect showers in western and southern areas as these approach later in the week. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, Greymouth and Westport are looking a bit cloudy with 22 degrees. Across to the northeast, break out the sunscreen, though plan for clouds too. Nelson and Blenheim, you can both expect 24 degrees. Moving down to Canterbury, cloudy skies across this area as well. Kaikoura and Christchurch head for 20. It should reach a warm 23 degrees in Ashburton. To the southern towns, the Catlins, Balclutha, Lumsden and Gore are due for moderate northerlies and high cloud. The Catlins heads for 20, Balclutha and Gore reach 25, while Lumsden makes it up to 26. Heading to central Otago, summer temperatures continue for most, but there's a 10-degree spread of temperatures across this region. Wanaka and Alexandra basking 28 and 29 degrees respectively. Queenstown, you're aiming for 26. Te Anau, you're set for 19 degrees and showers. A fair discrepancy between the northern towns too. Timaru and Oamaru, you should plan for moderate northeasterlies, cloudy skies and 20 degrees. Inland, Twizel and Omarama, you're due for light northerlies, some high cloud and a hot 30 degrees. In Dunedin, cloudy tonight, looking at an overnight low of 12. Cloudy tomorrow with low cloud at first, lifting but not breaking. A bit cool with breezy northeast winds, a high of 17 and a low of 13. Still mostly cloudy with northeasterlies on Wednesday, some showers at night with a high of 19 and a low of 13 degrees. And in Invercargill, fine tonight with an overnight low of 11 degrees. Mostly fine tomorrow with high cloud increasing and lowering and moderate northwesterly winds developing. A high of 20 and a low of 11. Some light rain tomorrow night, changeable on Wednesday with some clouds and a few scattered showers at times, but also some sunny periods. A high of 21 and a low of 13. That's the news this Monday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Have a great evening and week. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.